Hey guys, so it's been a while since I've made a video, so I just wanted to give a few updates, talk about a few things. So there wasn't a lot going on the past few weeks besides finishing round 4 of the really yucky drugs, which is adriamycin and cytoxin. So those are the drugs that make you feel so awful, makes you lose your hair. So I had 4 rounds of that and that is finished. However, I still have more chemotherapy starting this Tuesday. Excuse me, I'll be going in for once a week, every week for 12 weeks. That'll take me through April the 2nd with a new drug called taxol. So every third week though, however, every third week up until December 2019, I'll be doing 2 other drugs as well that is not considered chemo. So I'll still be going in every 3 weeks to the end of this year. Taxol, from what I hear, and other friends on the internet have told me that it makes you continue to lose your hair. However, things like your eyebrows and your eyelashes will continue to fall out. So I feel like my eyebrows have gotten a little thinner. I haven't really seen a change in my eyelashes, but I think that's hard to think about. I think wearing a wig on your head is definitely easier than trying to work with eyebrows, filling them in, and some women I've seen just pencil them in, just like a little rainbow. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not looking forward to it. It's funny because other hair loss, like my arm hair is gone, and even like the nose in my hair. I just looked one day. I don't know what I was doing, but I'm like, huh, that's interesting. So even things like that. Just hair continues to fall out. So I met with my breast surgeon on Friday. So just talking about next steps with her. So I'll meet again with her in April, and we're planning for my mastectomy to be in May. So after I finish my taxol on April 2nd, I have to wait 4 to 5 weeks, which is why it puts it into May. And between that time, I will be having additional scans done to see the progress, to see the actual size of my cyst, because it is attached to my chest wall. So initially, the MRI came back, it was about 8 centimeters long. So look how long I went without even checking or doing a self-breast exam, 8 centimeters long. When they measure at the oncologist office, they can only measure a piece of it. So I go every 2 weeks to see my oncologist, and it has shrunk every single time by at least a centimeter. So my last visit 2 weeks ago, it was 2.5 centimeters by 2 centimeters, which is great. But again, that's not measuring the entire thing because it does go a little bit deeper. So we talked about the surgery. We talked about, do I have the other breast removed? I learned that removing it doesn't really decrease your chances because the cancer can still spread through your system, like the secondary cancer to your organs. It can still appear in my chest wall again. So removing another breast wouldn't do that. It's more of just a preference. Although I just feel like I would feel better in my head mentally. I think like maybe this will just still decrease the chance, but she said that's not the case. So she referred me to speak with the plastic surgeon to go ahead and talk about my options, because what I've learned is through this process, there's so much information given to you, and it's not until that time comes you can really start making decisions about what I want to do. So there's that, and then we talked about reconstruction. So once I finish radiation, so I'll have my surgery in May, then I wait 4 to 5 more weeks, then I'll have my radiation 5 days a week for 6 weeks. Once that's finished, then I have to wait 6 full months to actually have reconstruction surgery. So I calculated that puts me around January 2020 is where I would have my breast reconstructed. I still have to have genetic testing done as well. So that is scheduled for March to see if I carry that mutation gene, BRCA. If that's the case, if I do, then I have no choice but to have both breasts removed. So that would be a given at that point. So that's scheduled for March, talking about family history. I've already completed a questionnaire, so I'm not quite sure what other questions they'll have. So that's scheduled for March. I wanted to talk a little bit about this process in having cancer. It takes a toll on you and your body. That's obvious. And just being tired and nauseous. But this week this past week, last week, was especially hard emotionally. And it's really hard to put the why. Like, I know I'm sick. I get that. But the feeling I have isn't a feeling I can actually name. Because it's not a feeling of being sad. I can only think of it as, this is maybe how depression feels. It's just a feeling. It's just, it's like I'm just unwell. And it was hard going into work last week, and I didn't want to be asked how I was doing. And it was okay if people did, but when they asked how I was doing, I immediately wanted to cry. Which makes me think I'm not doing okay. And I've had to come to terms with that too, because I'm not okay. And before I go on, I just want to make sure you understand that this is not a cry for help. This is not, I'm going to put this out there to see who responds and who supports me. I'm not that type of person to do that. I'm just trying to keep it real, that this is really hard. And I have good moments. I was thinking when I went to pick up my son from school last week, when I was well enough to do that, I was so happy to see him. I got to do it twice last week. But there was one day where I was by myself. It was right after maybe it was a week after my treatment. I was by myself, and it was one of the only days I was by myself. My brother went home. My husband was working, and that was fine. I felt okay enough to be by myself. And I just had one of those breakdown moments where, like, you scream into a pillow moment. And I think the feeling I have when I feel that way is just, I get mad. I get mad that, I should have grabbed a tissue. I get mad that I'm sick. And I get mad that this is happening to me. And I think, why me? And I know cancer doesn't work that way. But I also think, like, why not somebody else? And as terrible as that sounds, I just know there's a lot of wicked people in this world who hurt other people, who hurt children. And I just say, why not them? Because I'm one of the good ones. And I know that. So this journey of cancer is just taking a toll on me emotionally. Like I said, sometimes I am good, but sometimes I also hate to answer the question, how are you doing? Because sometimes I'm really not good. I'm not okay. And I don't know how to always say that, you know, like when someone says, how are you doing today? And how are you feeling? I don't want to say terrible or bad. So I've learned just to say, I'm doing okay. And okay for me just means I'm not good. Because I don't want anyone to have to deal with, oh crap, sorry I asked. But again, you know, for the most part, it's like I'm doing okay. I have more bad days than good days now, so it's kind of, my world is flipped upside down to where, like, I had great days all the time and hardly ever had a bad day. What's weird about this too, and me crying, is like, I was so low radar on social media. You know, I kept very private. So for me to show the world what this is doing to me and what this experience is like is very hard, because I still am a very private person, but this journey, you know, you chose to follow. I almost have 100 subscribers, which is so awesome when I see that. I think maybe I'm at 96. I don't know who you are, but thank you for following my journey. Thank you for the ones who liked the video, because that also helps me know, like, hey, you know, this was helpful, or they enjoyed this, or some of the content, you know, was good for them to watch. So those likes also let me know that, hey, you're enjoying what you're watching. So I'm going to be okay. I am. It's just taken a toll on me, this whole thing. I still have a wonderful support system. I wish I could share with the world how amazing just my son is and how much love he continues to show me. You know, just like yesterday, he just looked at me and I was sitting on the couch. He said, "Mama, do you need lovin's?" And I'm like, "Yes." Like, I'm never going to turn that down. And my husband, you know, is just, man, I wish I could share him with the world, because he's so amazing. And it's just like, he's supposed to be in my life and he's supposed to help me through this. He's just that person that I want everyone to have someone like him, because he's that wonderful. And, you know, having my brother here has been amazing. You know, after my treatment, he's here taking care of me. He's, you know, making sure I'm eating, making sure I'm drinking. He's cleaning my house from top to bottom. And then, you know, even my coworkers and the support of my team at work, you know, it's just like, it's been so wonderful. So that's the update. Sorry, I had to see all this mess, but that's just, you know, this is the real effect that this has that's having on me. So looking forward to a new treatment. I won't feel as sick, which is great with the taxol. I think the nausea should subside, and from what I understand, it's just the fatigue I will be dealing with. So I hope to provide some more updates for those watching because they're going through breast cancer, but also those friends and family who are watching because they want to see how I'm doing. So stay tuned, and I hope to have some more videos for you soon. Thanks, guys.